sound of Lagos.
Knowledge is power. Information is key. And that is why we aim to unlock the doors of opinion, unveiling the stories that need to be told. The Morning Express on Mainland 98.3 FM from 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. as we invoke the thought-provoking discussion, tackle the tough questions, challenge assumption, and give a voice to the unheard. This is the Morning Express on Mainland 98.3 FM.
Welcome on board the Morning Express.
Good morning.
You are listening to the Morning Express on Mainland 98.3 FM.
Good morning.
Beautiful Friday morning, the 11th day in the month of July 2025. Hope you had a restful night and I hope you're ready for the daily activity as we here at Mainland 98.3 FM are always ready to make your mornings and even make your day a better one, bringing to your listening pleasure and priding ourselves with critical segment or for that is very important for you to enjoy and to have a better one. Speaking of information, bringing information to your doorsteps, talking about entertaining programs, trends, news and current affairs, education, health, business, whatever you can definitely imagine. We're ready to bring that to the fore, bring that to the limelight at every point in time to keep you abreast, to bring you up to speed as regards what's going on in the country and even outside the country. Welcome once again, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. I want to believe you're happy. It's the weekend. For those that have been always, waiting for the weekend, Friday to come so they can just get rest from all the hustles and bosses of the week. 11th day in the month of July, we begin several issues and trends, developing stories, news stories this morning on trends in the papers. But a stop to reminder that you should be safe and make sure that you keep yourself safe from rains and move away from any environment that is prone to flood. All right. Definitely, as we hope we do not experience more of the flooding we've been experiencing in some parts of the state. We just 8.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. My name is Tūkbe Akinyosoye, and we're ready, set again as always to bring to you and to peruse the pages of our papers, to go through that. We'll be giving analysis to that with the help of our analysts. In-house analyst, as always, Said Fawad will be joining us. I'll be giving perspectives to the issues we have today. Let's not forget quickly, we are live, we're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube, so you can join us right there and be part of the conversation regardless of your location. You have a browsing phone, laptop, whatever it is, you can definitely be part of the conversation. It's a pleasure for us that you join the conversation and later have a robust conversation. Website www.mainlandfm.com. Right, quite a number of things happening. The comeback of the senator representing Kogi Central, Senator Natasha, to the House. But we definitely greeted, stripping her of chairmanship as the chairman of a committee in the House. We were waiting for, as reported earlier, the showdown was not like a dramatic one, but a removal from of being the chair and replaced by a senator representing Akwa Ibom South East Senator in Edo State. We've had also tomorrow, July 12th, like I mentioned earlier, July 12th, tomorrow is the Lagos State local government election, and we're having also different bickering here and there, EPC, the ruling party and the opposition parties and all of that. Even we still have the back and forth, the pressure over the visa restriction, Nigeria versus US, UAE visa restrictions and all of that. And also still the APC, ADC banter to bring to you this beautiful morning. So let's just, without further ado, get into business. Good morning, Sai Fawad. Friday. Shebi, you
Friday before local government elections in Lagos.
Yes, I mean, what are you expecting? More news that are coming out, but what's the expectation? What do you expect?
I expect
Voter apathy. Do you think that people will still, at least,
of course,
will have a
there'll be a
change?
lot of voter apathy.
With all the conversations we've been having over the years about this and election and the right that we have to demonstrate our,
No, but it's not that people are not interested or they are not willing to exercise their right to vote. But the reality is that local government elections have become a complete waste of time in Nigeria. And I don't think Nigerians really want to bother with going out there to participate in what most likely going to be a predetermined experience or exercise, if you understand what I mean. You can live in denial about it. I know politicians can continue to speak themselves. I know what it is. It's a complete sham across all states. So it's going to be same of the old thing.
But Said, is it not concerning, Said, for that?
It's concerning, but what do we do?
Regardless of the situation or regardless of what the system looks like, does it guarantee us to now jettison our right to now say, we should, take the bull by the horn and say, yes, we really want that change. They have their results, down or whatever it is.
Well, I like your optimism. I'm also a very optimistic person, and I'm also very destructive in nature. I'm not. And other political parties in Lagos who have decided to bring out their, candidates at different levels of this election. You have to be commended. We've had the local government in Lagos. Well, you and I know that it's not going to happen like that.
It will happen. We'll make it happen.
Don't worry.
We'll make it happen. If the wall doesn't open, the lizard will not enter.
Okay.
Anyways, still talking about
the wall. The owners of the wall and the lizard will tell you how they do it. People will be here now.
Wow.
We'll go alive. Latest by Sunday. You will see.
It's okay. Anyways, still about the local government election tomorrow. The Lagos State Police Commander definitely announced that there will be total restriction of vehicular movements throughout Lagos State. They earlier said from 3 a.m. On tomorrow till 3 p.m., but they readjusted the time, and I think they put it at 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. tomorrow for the local Lagos local government. Isn't that not the norm on the regular? When
it's the norm here in Nigeria. It's just the norm, but I'm just saying that the lack of seriousness that comes with local government elections because of the fact that people really don't take it too serious. For me, but again, the bill is just for how many hours? At the end of the only reason why I'll be paying attention to that election is because as a journalist,
you're a journalist, you're in the media.
And I have to report it. I have to also comment on it and probably do some analysis on it. If not because of that, I probably not interested in what's going to happen. Because we know what we have.
Change is the only constant thing. Well, anyway,
we'll wait for the change.
Yes, and we should be intentional about it.
I know when you come and attack me and say I'm not patriotic.
Do you sound like that? Do you sound like that? Anyway, the restriction of vehicular movements will apply to all roads and waterways within Lagos State jurisdiction, and other details: provision on armed escort and security, ban on industry and state security agencies are barred from movement, as no state-owned security agency is authorized to participate in the election security operations in line with the Electoral Act. But exemptions, definitely, there are exemptions. That's essential services, State Independent Electoral Commission, that's LASEC, and accredited election observers and media practitioners on election coverage accredited by the Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission. Identification of tags, yes, all the security agencies, personnel, and other stakeholders, including even the media and election observers accredited by LASEC for the election will be in possession and wear the identification tags certified by LASEC throughout the period of the election. Also, they gave about the security, givation centers and other statutory places where the electoral processes are designated to take place throughout the state, and also the public some designated emergency lines. You can just check, and I just want to pull that out. That released the validated candidate list for Lagos local government, which we have 19 political parties participating in the 20 local government areas, 37 local council development area, registered voters in 376 number of wards. That will be happening tomorrow. You want to say something?
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that, it's very unfortunate that, as a people, instead of making things better, we keep making a mess of it. We expect that with time, things are supposed to get better. We're supposed to strengthen our institutions and make our systems work better. Look, local government elections in the past used to be the most keenly contested, the toughest of the elections, because that's the closest election to the people. So you have people participating actively. That is, when you talk about real grassroots politics, you're supposed to get it at the local government level.
Right.
There used to be a time in this Lagos. There used to be a time in this Lagos that, Badagry local government. In those days, I can talk of, I think, Amuwo-Odofin, even a pair, some of the outskirts, about 4 or 5 local government central INEC. But as soon as we came about with this arrangement of state, independent electoral commission, everything changed. So the ruling party in each state, since they control the governor and the state and the independent electoral commission, they will always be the ones winning everything. They take everything. So it got to the point that nobody took it seriously again. You see, in Lagos now, most of the campaigns, you see that it came mainly who have been chosen by the party, whether through the primaries or by coercion or by imposition. Would anybody blame me for saying it's going to be a complete waste of time? Because we already know there are precedents to this thing. And it's unfortunate. In those days, the governor will sit up because once you begin to lose your local government to the opposition, and they ask him, would there be an election? An election that he himself knows is going to be a sham, a complete waste of time. So we can continue to live in denial about some of these things, but it's what it is, and it's just the reason why we seem not to be making any meaningful progress with our democracy.
Should the governor really be in trouble if
grassroots base of the state? For example, in those days, you had 20 local governments in Lagos. So immediately you lose about 10 of it to the opposition. Don't you know you are in trouble as a governor? So when keeping the governors on their toes.
Right.
But now what we have is just a complete...
and even with that, I mean, governance, delivering governance, good governance should be like the main or the priority, the main talk for another decide for one. Just quickly before we move away from the local government poll, Punch is reporting a statement credited to LASDIEC saying that ballot snatching will trigger by election, saying that any she's saying
this
that
one no
wait now,
wait now this one of in fact people will kill ram and cow and do festivity and even before the elections are announced. You will see. You know why?
Why?
Nobody
why?
You want me to tell you?
Why?
Don't worry, tomorrow I will tell you.
Why? Why?
You will see that people will kill ram, cow. Most of the candidates who already know they will win will even throw party before the election starts tomorrow. People will converge, party members will enjoy themselves, and then, it's going to be more of, festivity for them. You want me to make predictions?
If it's what you are thinking, people will surprise you. They were amazing. Okay. You'll be flabbergasted PC and other political party bickering on the local government election tomorrow, blah, 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 and all of that. Anyway, by this time, Sunday, definitely, we all know. Well, away from that, still with the Punch newspaper this morning, a deep sigh, actually, because it's about the autonomy of the local governments. Exactly 1 year, July 11, 2024, the Apex Court ruled that local government must receive the allocations directly from the Federation account, describing the long-standing practice of routing the funds through state governments as unconstitutional. And in response, the federal government, constituted an agency interagency panel to oversee the implementation of the ruling and directed the Central Bank of Nigeria to open individual accounts for each of the 774 local government councils across the country to facilitate the direct disbursement. However, 1 year after, precisely today, the judgment showed that the process remains, largely unimplemented, as we still see local governments and other relevant agencies. And according to analysis, analysis of data from the Federation Account Allocation Committee, revealing that between July 2024 and June, 87% of the 18.074 trillion naira shared among the 3 tiers of government over the 12-month period. Now, you asked, what exactly is stalling the implementation of this? According on Thursday evening, said the association had been patiently waiting on the office of the Secretary of the Government of the Federation to give updates on the documents submitted to the President Tinubu. That's the concerns or the perspective of the governors, why they have not, decided to surrender, and Tinubu gave them listening ears and all of that. They submitted the documents, and according to Abubakar, that Tinubu listened to the concerns of the governors and mandated the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, and the Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, to work on the bottlenecks affecting the implementation of the judgment. But as at now, nothing of consequence, if not implemented. And why do the state governments still get the allocation when the Supreme Court has said that the allocation should be given directly to the local government council, to the local government?
Well, yes, there are supposed to be consequences. There are supposed to be a judgment of the apex court, the highest court in the land. And it's a shame that 1 year after that judgment was delivered, the status quo that the judgment intends to nullify still subsists. It's clear for everybody to see. It's like the former president Muhammadu Buhari said. He said the governors are stealing the monies of the local government. That was the word he used. Stealing. And so when you are used to stealing funds that does not belong to you, you think you will let go easily. And it's surprising that the federal government that went to court on this same matter, has set up a committee to see to its full implementation of that judgment, headed by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume. And 1 year after that judgment was delivered, a simple thing as local governments opening accounts with the CBN, they have not been able to do. Because the idea is 774.
Right. 774.
At some point, they said they were still doing KPI, they were still doing New York, that protocols upon protocols. So, and 1 year, a whole 12-month session, real autonomy for local government goes beyond just financial autonomy for them.
Yeah, of course.
Because what we are even talking about, I read the report today and it said judgment on local government autonomy. No, that judgment in itself encompasses much more to address this morning. It's how elections are conducted into the local government. Since it has now become like the governor's decision to make, the governor's elections to put people there. So, but that's part of, even a simple part of, money directly to them, we have still not been able to implement. Between the CBN, the Attorney General of the Federation, the Ministry of Finance, there's been a lot of back and forth, and the governors too. And it's as simple as the fact that, look, these governors are not willing to let go. There's something they are enjoying about the control of the monies of the local government. You get the money. Let them collect it directly. You say no. This money belongs to Lady Mo, but you would always get it through Mr. Fuad. And I say, every time the money comes, I always give her. And then also, that one is even stressed. Don't worry. Let us be giving Lady Mo her money. I said, no, I must always help her to collect. How does that make any sense? Because they know what they are doing. But like I said, the former president, Muhammadu Buhari, said, these guys are stealing local government money. In Ogun State, didn't you see what the one of the former chairmen said? That, look, we know they see anything. We know they even see anything. We just hear allocation come. They don't give us allocation. And when the guy raised the issue, he was suspended. The other local
government. If the governors have decided or insisted that they would not let go, then the father that has decided to fault of the upper hand here, the federal government, because even Falana and
they are supposed to implement the judgment.
Exactly, are accusing the federal government. There are cases, reports over the years that one thing or the other. Okay.
Now let me explain this to you, and you will see the hypocrisy in this situation, as decided by the Supreme Court judgment, has still not been implemented. There's been a lot of backup. Not have elected officials. That's the Rivers State. That was what happened when they see local government funds in Rivers. Oh, there's a court judgment government funds going to Rivers State. Until they brought the legal man occupying that position now. That's illegality. The man there as sole administrator, even though there are no consequences, but it will go down in the history book that those that claim to be true Democrats tolerated that illegality and in fact encouraged it for political convenience. There's no commitment to nation building. For everything we do, we see it from the lens of politics. Once it does not satisfy, simple thing as even opening accounts, they have not been able to do. And there's a lot of back and forth. And we say we are making progress with our democracy. What kind of progress is that?
All is well. Page 2 of the Punch newspaper has that story. Away from that, work again. The president. Safe word.
Hey, I'm with you.
Why did you laugh?
It was spontaneous. I don't know where the laugh came from.
Don't worry. I'll get the where exactly the laugh. And Kaduna refineries functioning again. He also stated that the refineries, which definitely under the management of NNPCL, either for maintenance or for this one or for that one. And according to the of the government refineries, now has over 50% of its output dedicated to premium motor spirit petrol, saying that even government refineries committed just 22% of their Olusegun Obasanjo left office in 2007. And according to him, said that the former managers of the refinery had told Yaradua that maintenance of the refineries was like trying to modernize a car built 40 years ago when technology has advanced. Well, I don't know. So
you see, the story is so it's telling. Actually, there are things to begin to ponder. About when we look at what this story brings to the table. Number one, it speaks to the level of corruption we have in the oil sector, especially when it comes to the NNPCL. Now, what Dangote is saying is that look, as it stands, those refineries are working. At least now we know that it was all lies. And I'm surprised that people who deceive Nigerians are still working free. Whereas they should be answering questions. Be pulling up somewhere now, answering serious questions. But daring to deceive Nigerians, took the media there, deceived. And when we were asking questions, some people tell you something, check and recheck again. Where are we now with those refineries? Now Dangote is saying that those refineries will never work. Because it's like a car that was built 40 years ago, and you are not just changing the engine. How the thing will work now? But there are vintage cars, that are built centuries, decades ago that are still working. The question of that, because he bought it under Obasanjo, that this thing was sold at a very ridiculous price to Dangote. And you see, whether we like it or not, there are still questions about how our public assets were sold under that story to talk about any other story. How much, for example, did we sell 1004 estates in Ikoyi? And several other federal government land in Ikoyi, Old Ikoyi, Old Yaba, Old Ikeja, GRA. That's a conversation for another day. So, and so he decided to reverse it. But Dangote was paying, and I think in some of his speeches, he has said that was what even motivated him to say, I will build my own refinery.
Right.
So, if he Dangote buy that facility at that time, do you just buy scrap? Not to go free work. Why did you buy it?
Didn't he get to know after buying and then say? No.
He's saying that when he bought it, they now took it away from him. He now went to go and build his own. But if he's saying that he knew that the thing would never work, why did he buy it at that time? What was the intention? Or did he just buy it to remove the old thing and build a new thing in that stuff?
Yes, that's exactly where I'm going.
And the location in terms.
Hello, Said Ford. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, if you can hear me. Okay, I think it's better now. It was breaking.
So I was hoping I would get more details from Dangote on why he bought the facility there. But you know, Tᴏᴜᴛᴛᴇʀ Mᴏᴜ recently said that, look, Shell Petroleum had told him when he called them to come and take over the facility that, sir, this thing will never work. And I remember that my good friend, Adiola Yusuf, now Dr. Adiola Yusuf, had told me, said manufacturers of the Port Harcourt refinery. And he asked them a very simple question. Can this thing ever work again? Can we ever turn it around to work again? And they told him, no, it will never work. But look at the corrupt officials of the NNPC. Somebody is telling us. So those that stole our money, lying that they were fixing that refinery, where are the NNPC? They've called them to more and answer questions about over 200 trillion from their audited report. And up till now, they've not appeared before the Senate, and they must be respected. Over 2 and something trillion discrepancy in their audited report from 2021 to 2023. Come and ask that question. The first time they were in a retreat. They don't have time. Later they say they need about 2 months to put things together. From their own audited report to...
So many
So the question is, who's going to bail the cat? Who's going to save us? Who's going to clean the mess? Clear the rot in the oil sector in Nigeria? Who is that person that has got what it takes to step on toes and punish people who have been stealing our commonwealth? Who is that person?
Well, that's a very big question for every Nigerian. President 3 has that very story because of our time. Of Gabon, Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, Mauritania, and Senegal. The White House excluding the President Tinubu of Nigeria, and he had announced a 10% tariff on Nigerian goods exported to the U.S., as many had believed this was coming following President Tinubu's visit to Brazil to participate in the BRICS summit after Trump's threat. And on Tuesday, just in response to that, the U.S. Embassy in Nigeria also announced visa restrictions for Nigerians as it affected single entry 3-month visa validity and all of that. But this morning we get a statement credited to the Foreign Affairs Minister, Ambassador Yusuf Turgar, saying that U.S. is mounting pressure on African countries to accept Venezuelan deportees, stating that it would be difficult for Nigeria to do so. And he also clarified that the fresh 10% tariff imposed on Nigeria by President Donald Trump's administration may not have anything to do with the president's meeting with the BRICS nation. It was made that the sanctions, the tariff hike and other sanctions, but may not necessarily be a result of Nigeria becoming a partner member of BRICS. But he's saying that the pressure, that Nigeria is getting pressured to accept Venezuelans deportees, that we are still battling with over 200 million population, that it's not a good time for us to be accepting any deportee from anywhere. Aside for your reaction to that.
I don't want us to waste too much time on this. I probably think we could do more talking on Trump and his foreign policies as it concerns Nigeria. On Political Roundtable, I'm hoping that Vice Curtis will join us to look at some of these issues. But I think that we need to, more than ever before, we need to put the best of the best mind to take care of our foreign affairs. You understand what I'm saying? This is the best time to look at career, well-grizzled diplomats. Under President Donald Trump, it's a different kettle of fish. It's a different scenario, really. It's a man with his own unique way of doing things. His thinking pattern is completely different. He's not really someone who wants to respect established protocols when it comes to international diplomacy. So when you have such a president, such a person as the most powerful man in charge of the most powerful country in the world, you also have to tidy up your own back end, ensure our foreign missions, which is strange, I must say.
All right, that also in the Punch newspaper. Just quickly, let me just quickly run through the Punch so that we can attend to the Guardian newspaper as well. Stop enriching discos with public funds, Senate telling federal government. The Senate had called on the federal government to rethink its approach to the power sector by ending the indirect enrichment of private electricity distribution companies with public funds. That was the chairman, Senate Committee on Environment, Senator Yunus Abiodun Akintunde, PC of Oyo Central, disclosing this on Thursday. And speaking on the floor of the Senate, the lawmaker decried the current practice where government funds are being used to purchase electricity transformers for communities only for the assets to be taken over by discos. Side for any reaction to that?
No, that's the space. What the senator was saying. The disco arrangement we have, this distribution company arrangement is the biggest fraud, another big fraud in this country. We always ask, what is even their level of investment? Meter, they cannot give to their customers. Transformer, they can't give to their customers. Even cable or wire, all the people will still have to buy. And those are facilities that are supposed to enhance their own operation. The people are still buying it for them. So what then? So the only thing they do is to just collect money, tax collectors. So what are they distributing? What has been their level of investment in the distribution facilities? If ordinary transformer, they cannot buy for community. But when the community buy the transformer, they will still have to bribe them to come and fix the transformer. And then it becomes the property of the disco that they did not buy.
Well.
Is that funny? Is that not very funny?
Away from that quickly, that's also in the Punch newspaper this morning. Okay, quickly want to get the precise. Okay, the Punch newspaper captures that this away from not getting any judgment or any prosecution. The Punch is giving that while that is going, Akwa Ibom man to die by the normal Nigerians. Akwa Ibom man to die by hanging for killing brother. Oh, mine. Okay, we'll try to get him back. I think we lost the call there. Okay, just giving details to that. Akwa Ibom man to die by hanging for killing brother. A 29-year-old Opon has been sentenced to death by hanging by the Akwa Ibom State High Court sitting in Uyo over the murder of his elder brother, Friday Thomas, whom he accused of being a witch behind his life's misfortune. Well, I just want to put that out there. Away from that, quickly picking up the Guardian newspaper of Edo State, and so Ighodalo, that's the PDP candidate, had accepted Supreme Court verdict decrying the robbery, betrayal of Edo People's Trust. And away from that, Sideford, are you there?
I'm with you, yes.
Okay, we lost the call there. All right, welcome back. Quickly, let's talk about the ADC, the presidency and the former national chairman of the PDP, Chief Olabode George, yesterday had expressed their doubt over the chances of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and Labour Party's Peter Obi to unseat President Bola Tinubu in the 2027 presidential election. Bayo Onanuga, the special advisor to the press, it will be an Herculean task. Away from, I just want to pick the. Yeah,
there's no need to waste time on that.
Okay, okay. And also from the Guardian newspaper, Shettima urges public officials on accountability and legacy building. The Vice President Kashim Shettima had actually called on both serving and former public officials to embrace transparent justice. He was actually saying this during the public presentation of the memoir OPL 245. That's the inside story of the $1.3 billion oil block, which was authored by former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Mohammed Bello. Yes. Let me. Adoke, yes, Adoke. I have the words of the Vice President. Let me quickly play that so you react to that immediately.
Of the Jonathan administration, I was the most demonized person. Certain decisions are taken in a very rare peace cycle. The President, the Vice President, the Senate President, and the Speaker of the House of Representatives. At one of such conclaves, former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan GCFR, with whom we have shared the sword and have now recalibrated our relationship, and Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, the then policy, you don't have the power to remove an elected councillor. The president was still not convinced. He mooted the idea at the Federal Executive Council. I admire Mr. Mohammed Bello Adoke fundamentally for his courage and for his convictions and for his capacity to stand for what he believes in. He told the then president that Mr.
right, because of our time. Side forward, necessarily have the power to remove a governor or elected, even a councillor, as at that during the memoir, during the book launch and all of that as well. And also part of what he mentioned during there was that he also spoke about the 2027 election, that all political players in all political parties, either ruling party or opposition, are all the same. Quickly.
Beautiful. Again, because of time, I might not be able to go too deep into this conversation. But Sunday, definitely, is going to be one of the issues on the table.
All right.
This statement by the current Vice President, Kashim Shettima, referring to what happened on time, Kashim Shettima, the governor of Borno State, admitted the idea of, we need to get some of these governors out, particularly him, because that was the epicenter of the Boko Haram insurgency at that time, Borno State. And he has said that President Jonathan, had spoken with his Attorney General, who incidentally was Mohammed Adoki. Look, does any part of the Constitution give me the right to do this? And he said at that time, the then Speaker, who is the former governor of Sokoto, Aminu Tambawa, had told the President of God, you don't get that kind of power. You can't even remove an elected councillor.
Let alone a governor. Right.
Let alone a governor. And that the 10 Attorney General too told the President the same thing. I said, the fact that one of your predecessors did the same thing does not mean there are no such things in the Constitution. The senior advocate of Nigeria, Jonathan he asked him that. When I said, I know, the man told him the same thing. So, what Kashim said, we saw in River State, that's still going on in River State. That is what he has done.
Well,
and again, he has also look, we are all of the same family. Why must we kill ourselves? That's a statesman. So, Kashim Shettima on record has quietly told the president, that's what he's saying here. It's an illegality and nothing will change that. It was just done for political reasons, and that's a desecration of our democracy.
We need to go, sir.
Whether anybody likes it or not.
We need to go. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that will be the size because of our time. We need to go for commercials. Thank you very much, Said, for your time. Really appreciate it. I just hope we had more time, but it is what it is. Good morning once again. Still Morning Express.